Okay, this demonstration video is about expert advisor, box trader, and this is the initial version of that, and it's copyrighted to Isaac Kang. And this version is a EA that trade based on the user-defined boxes. So obviously it's a semi-automatic EA, and I'm going to demonstrate using backtesting. So let's first take a look at the external variables. So first one is box name prefix, and this is very important for any of these user-defined objects to be recognized by EA. The name must start with this, and this I'm making it user-defined, so you can define anything. In this case, I'm using BUX. This is also case sensitive, so if you define a box that use any other name to start, it won't be recognized. And the name must be this name, this prefix, plus a number. For example, something like this. But that's the actual name. And here we only define the prefix and magic number. Then ID, and this is ID basics, the name of the EA. You can input anything you want, and this is going to be attached to all of your alert this EA submits. Later on, we'll demonstrate. And now for the order management functions. The first one is use break even, true or false. If this is true, then these two values are considered. If this is false, these will not be considered. So when break even is true, and then we have break even RR level. RR represents risk and reward. Basically, this means break even happens at two risk reward level. Let's say one risk reward, it means it's the order open price to its stop loss price. This is one risk reward. And when this is two, so when price, in this case is a sell order on chart, it needs to go twice as far to break even. And the actual break even position is defined not by RR level, it's defined by pips. 2 means 2 pips. This basically means when order goes in profit at 2 RR level, we're going to break even and move the stop loss to 2 pip in profit. Okay, so next is about trailing stop, and this trailing stop is in steps. So when this is true, all of these two will be considered. When this is false, they're not. So for break even, we have two variables. First, similar to this, trail activate RR level. 3 means trailing stop starts to activate at 3 RR level. And trail level, if it's 2, means your stop loss is actually trails the current highest level by 2. What does that mean? That means when price gets to 3 RR, our trailing stop is at 1 because it trails 2. So 3 minus 2 is 1. So when price gets to 4 RR, your trailing stop is at 2. When price gets 5, your trailing stop is at 3, obviously. That's what this means. So next is about recovery. Log in recovery loss, true or false. Of all of these functions will affect every box your EA is using, okay? And there are certain functions that's different for each different box is defined in the box description. We'll discuss that later. So when log in recovery loss is true, then we're going to lock in recovery loss. If this is false, we're not using this function. The logic of this function, we have already discussed it. Okay, so when this is true, EA needs to know at what time and at what condition this particular function will be activated. In this case, NC log in recovery dollar means this, whatever you write here is a dollar amount. So 20 means when the entire cycle profit brings to more than like $20 in profit, we're going to activate this function. Then last is margin limit, and this one is expressed by a percentage. So 50 means the largest margin we could ever go for the entire account is 50%. When this is exceeded, we're not going to open any orders. Okay, so for the current margin, it's always displayed. Current margin being used is always displayed on chart 0.29. That means I'm only using 0.29% of my entire equity. This is my margin required from the broker. Okay, and okay, let's start. You can see here right now this display is a little bit different than what I have on live chart. The reason is at this point I only display to general information. I do not have any box actually being drawn yet. So only thing I can display is the maximum box index. So this means for this particular cycle, you're running this EA from the EA start. I haven't drawn any box yet. So on the live chart, I already drawn 4 boxes. This is what EA recognized and current margin used. And once you have some box drawn, it will have each box has some information on chart. So now let's go into draw some boxes. I have already drawn some, like in the past I used as a template. You can see here immediately I have 2 boxes recognized. You can see here. One sec. Oh, okay. Well, I need the next tag to update. So maximum box index is 2. Why is it can recognize these 2 boxes? It's because I named the box exactly as we have discussed. It needs to be, first is a prefix you have defined. Remember this is case sensitive too. And then followed by an index. You can start from 1 or 2. Or you don't have to follow the exact number, but EA will give you the maximum number you have used. I can use 1, 2, 3 and directly to 5, but I suggest you, but the EA will tell you the maximum you have used is 5. But I suggest you to use it by the sequence. The reason these sequences are important because on the same EA run, I do not want you to use a box index you have used in the past, because otherwise our counting of re-entry will be messed up. So I'm starting with box 1, and this is a box. Then EA can recognize this name, and in here we're going to, this is user defined some characteristics about this box. First, this box is to be used for buy or sell. And this one is 50 means our maximum initial risk is $50. 25 means my entry is at 25, my entry trigger. Not to say my entry, so my entry's trigger is at 25% of the box. And in this case, I'm going to have EA to draw a line at exactly where the trigger is. So do not delete these lines yourself. So this will just tells you first you can see right away if EA is finding the trigger correctly, and later on when price exceeds this, it will immediately put up a pending order. So this is just a reference line for you for each box. Each box that's EA recognized will always have a line. So if you draw a box and you don't see a line being generated, that probably means the name you have here is not correct. So EA does not recognize. So the last is how many times you want this EA to re-enter. So maximum of 3 times. And these are information about this box. EA is going to read it and keep that in memory. So user can define the colors, and EA do not care about the colors. Now you can see I have 2 boxes on chart. There's no information displayed for this box. That means there's no action for this box yet. And these boxes can these boxes can overlap, and also you can freely change them. See, I changed them. You can see here, I moved this, I moved this. The next tick, this line is going to be redrawn. You can change them before EA has begun to submit orders. But after order is submitted, changing the box will not affect the current order. It will affect the next order. Although this EA is a semi-automatic EA, it requires EA and user intervention, but there's a limit of what user can do. See here, once price touches this, we open an order. And now after you open the order, if you change the box location and everything, obviously my order is already opened. You cannot change that. So, and you can change the box, but it will affect the next order. And also, I strongly do not recommend you change the box name. If you want a new box, just draw a new box. Do not screw it up the process. So now we have an order open. You can see here, this order is opened, and its stop loss is exactly like at the bottom of a box, and the take profit is 5 times as far as the stop loss. Basically, this is 1 RR, this is 5 RR. And also, whenever an order is opened, we give you these alerts and show you what happens. I'm going to show you again on live. Let's go back to a live chart and see what happens when a trade is opened at live. So because on backtesting we cannot see the terminal and we also cannot see the alert, so now I switch back to a live example. So here we have a live example on chart, and we have in history we already have 4 boxes on chart, and although currently I only have 2 left. So out of these 2, you can see box number 3 have no trade yet, because in this entire section I have no other information displayed. So no live trade, no history trade for box 3 yet. For box 4, and we have a current order, and which is still a pending order. So that's pending order, a pending sell order, and also obviously current open PL is 00. Now if you look at the alert, and here's what happens when a new order is opened. So first it shows you what time, this is a broker server time, and what EA on which chart it opened, what type of order, and this order ticket is what, and this is the order open price. And once that happens, it also tells you some other data, and this particular order data, this particular order is based on which box, and at the time order opened, 1 risk reward pip is 42.4. This will be useful for our throughout the entire order management, including break even or trailing stop and take profit. Okay, and this is the entry number 1 for this particular box. And also, and on the terminal, and if you right click and choose to display comment, you can see all this information is also attached to this order that shows its which EA, and this EA, the prefix is called box. Okay, so it's based on box, and this is a box number 4, and 1 risk reward is 42.4, and this is the entry number 1. So all of these information all attached to this order. Okay, now once we have this trade entry, let's move it back. Let's take a look at what happens on the screen comment. So I'm always trying to display the maximum amount of information for clients. So now under box index number 1, we have some information about the current orders. Current order ticket, So order number 1, that's related to box index number 1. And then we have current order type, which is 4. For MT4, there's 6 type of order. So for buy order, by market order type is 1, okay? By limit order type is 2. By market order type is 0. By limit order type is 2. In this case, you'll never have a limit order, so don't need to know that. But type 4 is by stop order. For sell order, sell market order type is 1, sell stop order type is 5. But for box number 1, it will only be either 0 or 4. So right now, this is still a stop order. Let's move forward. And if price goes up enough, and this stop order will be executed into the market, and this part is done by your broker, not your EA. So once it's in the market, here I'm displaying the current open profit or loss real time every tick. So this is the open profit or loss of this particular order. You can see I have some other objects on chart. For example, this horizontal line. It will not be recognized by the EA. EA will only recognize, first of all, rectangles. And also it needs to have a specific name based on our naming rule. So that gray line does not matter. So now we have this now is 66.88. Our take profit is here. You can see here when our order first started, because we remember we want $50 loss and our lot size is 0.16 and its loss is 47.6. The reason is when we go to the next eligible order size, which is 0.17, our loss will exceed 50. So it might be 50.03 or something. So we go down like one step. So we're using 0.16. So this loss here will not be exactly 50. So this is just the maximum we could go for the lot size, just under 50. Another thing is these lines. So because you want the user to control the stop loss and take profit, and here we're using soft stop loss, not hard stop loss. Same as take profit. See, you can move these and will immediately upgrade what the potential loss is. Same thing for the take profit. For example, here I can move it and next tick, then it's going to update. So for the stop loss and take profit, it's both soft stop loss and take profit. So user can move it right away. And however, when order is opened, our 1RR is already fixed. And our lot size is already calculated, okay? And that will not be changed by your moving those lines. So our 1RR is always based on the box and when the order is opened. So remember our break even function here. It might materialize here. So in this case, I'm using a reentry of numbers 3 times. So you can decide, if you decide not to use break even when the reentry is more. So for this one, if you do not want to use break even, you should make the reentry to be 1. But in this case, I'm using break even on a reentry of 3. So I can use anything I want. So in this case, break even just happened. Here you get an alert. So this EA sent you a break even point set at this. Why? You see the distance between here and entry is twice as much as our initial 1RR. That's our definition. And break-even point is moved to 2 pips plus entry. Okay? So for break-even is one special event. I'm going to send you a alert. But for trailing stop, it might happen at multiple times. We do not have alert for trailing stop. You can just see if break. In this case, you can see our stop loss has gained a few times. That's a result of That's a result of trailing stop. Okay, let's move forward. Then let's try one more time. I'm going to move my take profit. You can see here, see all these potential numbers has been updated. So the exit would be generated by EA. And of course, right now I'm using back testing and also I'm using control point. It's not accurate. So the actual result might, so for take profit, might end up to be a little bit more profit than that line indicates, because that line indicates the exact profit if it's close on the line. But in our case, it might not close on the line because of the slippage. So it'll be more. Okay. So now once the order take profit for this box is finished, because even I indicate I can do 3 times every entry, but then this one first entry, it's already take profit, so this is finished, so box is deleted. And then, so you can see here is still box 1 and 2, but once it's deleted, once you go to next tick, the box 1 will disappear from the chart. On chart, I'm only showing the relevant box that we are still trading. So for box 1, the result, you can just go into history and take a look about it. And then when the order closed, I also give you an alert. So now, obviously, I could have more boxes going on chart. Then I'm just going to use this one to, let's use this one to demonstrate re-entry and recovery. See, I'm moving this. Right now, this is at a pause situation. I'm moving this. Obviously, I need the next tick to upgrade this trigger. So I'm going to move this trigger to see one more tick to be roughly around this line I have. So now so on chart right now, we only have one box. So you can see the box 2 and maximum box index is 2. You can add more box at any time. For example, I'm adding another one. However, see, it doesn't not recognize it. You must make this exactly the correct name we're using, and here you need to input the correct information, but in this case I'm not going to. You can see here it shows box as 3, box 3, box 2, but in this case, and in this case you can see here no trigger line was drawn for this box. The reason, because this box right now is before our current price. So for this box, even you're using it, it's not going to result in any trade, so EA does not bother to do anything with this box. So we're not drawing trigger line, and if you do anything, if you already had a trigger line from past, if you do anything, it's not going to update it, because it's not our concern, that box line. But once you do this, once you make the end past this, I just see why there's no trigger line. The reason is, for this box, I'm not inputting any information here. Obviously, it's not going to do it. So anytime you see a box that's not doing what you're supposed to do, most likely is because the information putting here are wrong. But anyway, I'm just adding this to show that the box number is going to update. So next time if you insert any box, if here it shows 3, then you name it box 2. Okay, box 4. So now I'm just concentrating on this box for now. So for this, it's a sell order, and this will be a trigger line, will be 25% from the bottom. You can see here, this is a sell stop triggered here, and this is once again 46.93, not exactly 50 pips. The reason is once we go over 0.11, it's going to exceed $50. So this is the maximum number of the pips we can allow. So now, let's see. Right now, its order type is number 5, means it's a stop order. And now it is executed in the sell, so order number is 1. Okay? So you'll notice for all of these orders, the stop loss and take profit is 0. It means because stop loss and take profit is controlled by user, it's not sent to broker. See 46.93. If this is in real trading, the exit price will be very close to this line, and the actual money loss will be very close to this number. But in my back testing, because I'm not using an accurate mode, it might be different. See, on real time, all of these open profit or loss is being updated real time. In this case, this order has stop loss. You can see its actual stop loss is as much. Once it does this, remember we have a re-entry of 3 times. So you can see here, this has stop loss, but this box remains. The reason, this is a loss and we allow 3 times as re-entry. So total history PL is this. You can see here there's no current live order here, so there's no live information. Now, if I wanted to re-entry anything, I need to make this over the current price, okay, for obvious reasons. I'm just going to make this longer. But when you do this, you might have changed the height of this and everything, and trigger price might be different as well. So I suggest, if this is a EA that you want to set the box and go away and come back, you first make sure the end of the box is where you want it. So to avoid changing the box as much as possible. So now, let's take a look at the re-entry. Well, my computer just had a problem. I have to restart. Anyway, let's come to here, and we had another re-entry. So now, you can see here, for box number 2, entry made in history. This means the market order that's already opened and closed. So we have 1. That's why right now this order is order number 2. However, it is order ticket number 3, and this type is still pending orders now. Obviously, there's no current PL because it is still pending. And you can see this one, the maximum loss right now is 45.81. And this is take profit. So because this is still a pending order, price can go here right now. It doesn't mean you're going to lose that much. It only means this order needs to be deleted. So an order can be submitting multiple times, but see, this order execution into the market can be beyond this box because this is an action that's done by broker, okay? However, the order submitting time must be within the range of this box. So now this become a market sell order, see order number 1. And the 1 RR is from here to here. Now our target is this. And remember, right now I'm using the recovery to be true. So what does that mean? That means in addition to all the other management function. Because in the past I lost 50.70. So when this current order open profit goes to this plus $20, that means 70.70. We're going to set a firm stop loss to break the whole cycle to break even. You can see here what just happened. So remember before I said all the orders have no stop loss and take profit. Under normal situations, we use a soft stop loss and take profit. The soft stop loss and take profit has a lot of good things about it. One thing would be you can actually move the stop loss and take profit fairly close to current price. And in the real hard take profit and stop loss, there's a minimal distance requirement. For softer, there is none. However, under this special circumstances, which we call as recovery point. See here, recovery point was set when the current is 70.70. Obviously, right now it's exceeded because it's already set. When current profit reaches a special point, we're going to set the recovery. This is a very special action here, and in this case, I'm installing a hard stop loss to the current order. Because user can move this up and down at any time. However, under this situation, I'm putting it a hard stop loss so user can't change. The reason is if I'm still using a soft stop loss, because of slippage, you will probably end up with a profit with a loss of slight loss, for example, 2 cents or 3 cents. And if we're calculating the whole cycle overall take profit the stop loss, you might end up with 2 or 3 cents that we have to re-entry again. But that is definitely not intention. If I use a hard stop loss, and that will not happen. So whenever EA sees a hard stop loss being used and this order is stop loss with a profit, so even there's a little bit of a slippage, we're not going to re-enter. So once again, this hard stop loss is a special case that's not controlled by user. At this point, you can still move this up and down. However, if this is beyond this point, and for a sell order, if this is higher than that, then this will not get a chance to execute because this will hit hard stop loss first. The only time when this is soft stop loss still useful is when it is before the hard stop loss. In that case, you will be stop loss with even more profit. So at this point, the way I have did it, I think it gives you maximum flexibility. You can still control it by user-defined soft stop loss. However, you will never need to worry like go beyond this. So this entire cycle is guaranteed to be closed with profit. Okay, so I'm just going to move it back. I wanted to use the hard stop loss. And at this point, all your other break-even and trailing stop is still in place. So if price goes way beyond, like way down, your trailing stop could potentially still work and make the soft stop loss go beyond this entire cycle break-even point. Let's see what happens in this case. Let me move my stop loss a little bit. Take profit a little bit closer. So right now I have open PL of 93. I have close of 50.7. And no matter what, this particular order is going to close with a profit of 50.70 to make the entire cycle to break even, unless you move this down or EA move it down because of trailing stop. See, the EA just moved the trailing stop down one more, but if it goes down even more, let me make this further. So let's see if it goes down or not. The potential softer stop loss could move beyond it. Let's see what happens to the price. You can see here with these, I have displayed all the relevant information about the current trading for box number 2. So it should be very clear to you the things that happen to box index number 2. And these information will be there until this box trading is completely finished. It's just not going much. I'm hoping it would take it to stop out at the hard stop loss. So remember our last order stop at 57. 50.7, that's the loss. The price is not moving. I'm going to move this a bit faster here. Okay, so in the end, you can see here this order hit stop loss, all the relevant lines and everything, it stopped. So let's see. It's actually not being closed. See, this order is closed. I guess it's closed by a trailing stop. So as a result, the last order actually closed at a lower price than the hard stop loss because of the trailing stop was in action. So you get more profit than you want. But anyway, this is a demonstration of the recovery process. So once again, all the normal stop loss and take profit is soft stop loss and take profit. So it's be convenient for user to change. However, for the recovery point, we're using a hard stop loss because only this way, because a possible slippage, only this way we know this is a stop, a firm stop of this current trading session. The last word is on, these two variables. So in the case you want to trade, you wanted to open multiple charts of the same currency. For example, EUR USDH1 and EUR USDH4. It is very possible because you're trading different boxes. So I would suggest, first of all, you must use a different magic number. Okay, and second, I suggest to use different box name, and that way the reason is if you use different box name, so when you see different orders for the same currency, for example, this one you use box, other one you use snowflakes or whatever, so you can tell each order is based on which EA. Okay, and for the EA, they won't confuse their orders together. So this is very important. And also, if you want to exit a EA on chart, make sure exit at a time when there's no active market order. You can exit a EA with a pending order. EA will delete all pending order. Every time when your EA restart is completely new process, EA will not consider any order submitted in the past. The reason is we do not want to confuse the order names because each order is attached to a specific box. Imagine if you have used the name box 1 in the past and now you use it again, and then because of our re-entry, we cannot be concerning any order open in the past. It must be orders open after EA starts. So as a result, so if you exit the EA while there's still a market order, that order you need to manage it manually. So that's it for the demonstration for this EA. Thanks.